Are you allowed to watch TV shows on self-improvement? Well, I feel like there's a big sort of contingent of the sort of self-improvement space that say no. Like, watching TV shows is there's no benefit to it. You want to do it as little as possible, and basically not at all. You know, people like First Man, people like Hamza often have said this. You know, and there are two kind of reasons for this. The one is just it's a question of time. You know, watching TV shows, it's very time consuming, and as a man, if you want to get fulfillment, you want to get happiness, you want to get success, you need to be working hard on something, some kind of purpose, whether that's a business or physique or whatever. You need to be dedicated to something such that there's not really time to spend watching TV for, at the end of the day, because you've got to get up early the next day, work hard, So there's this one argument of just time, it's time consuming. But then there's also this very interesting argument of the fact that there are a lot of psyops in TV shows today. You know, a lot of us as kids, there's an argument to say that we've been kind of brainwashed by the TV shows that we watched as kids. We watched all these shows that presented, I would say rather dysfunctional examples of masculinity and femininity that aren't really compelling or inspiring to men and women, make men feel disenfranchised from their masculine essence. And Hamza's a big proponent of it. We've just been brainwashed, like all these Disney movies we watched as kids, where it was kind of like the simp would end up with the girl, which doesn't really happen in reality, and there are so many similar things, So Hamza is very against TV shows for this reason as well, because he thinks they're all just psyops and they're trying to brainwash us and make us kind of docile workforce. And yeah, it's a very interesting idea. And I think I'll be real, I do think there's a lot to it, like I don't disagree. However, I would say that there are a few caveats that I would add to the injunction of not watching self-improvement not watching TV shows on self-improvement. And the first argument I'd make is that it's not so much the sort of time you spend. This is referring to the first point. The first thing is it's not really bad, like how much time you spend doing something that's not productive, that's not leading you to your purpose. As such, I think it clearly it is, but I think what's more important is the attention that is taken up when you are doing something that is unproductive, like watching TV. And I think the truth is that our biggest enemy at the moment is stuff that really compromises our attention span. And this is stuff like short form content, TikTok, Reels, Shorts, this kind of stuff. I feel like that kind of content where it's you just flicking through your phone and changing the video every 5 seconds, that does so much more damage to your purpose, to your attention span, to your ability to be productive, than watching a Netflix show. And it's funny because I think so many Netflix shows are, they are very overstimulating. If you compare it to like, I don't know, some old film made in like the 50s, they're a lot more overstimulating than films were in the past. But compared to short form content, it's a whole different ballgame. And so I would say that really the aim for productivity, I think 90% of it is just avoiding short form content at any cost. And the danger of having like a zero tolerance policy on watching TV shows is it's too strict, and you'll end up just watching reels and stuff like that instead. So which is far worse for you. So I would say better to watch a few TV shows than end up on your phone on reels. Like, I'll give you an example. Like last night, like yesterday, I had a really busy week. Like I was at work all week, and then Saturday, like I went out all day, went to some, talked to some people at this process, went to film a vlog, and I was just absolutely shattered on Sunday. And I just thought, I'm just going to recoup today, have a sort of Sabbath, a kind of day of rest. But I didn't allow myself to fully unwind. And I just kind of sat in my room and like scrolled on my phone a lot. And I just wish I had the courage to just sit myself down and just watch something instead. Watch a TV show, watch a film. Because even though it's still unproductive, it would have allowed me to rest and recover much more than sitting on my phone scrolling would have. So that's the one thing. And then the second thing, this thing about TV shows being a psyop and stuff, like I do think there's a lot to it. Like, I'm sorry, I know it makes me sound a bit crazy, but I do think so much of our internal beliefs come from like content we watch. I do think there are some problematic elements of modern content and modern Netflix shows, but that doesn't mean that all TV shows, all television and stuff like that is automatically bad. And if you've ever watched, like, I think the trouble is people see a certain pool of TV shows from recent years and just assume that any TV show is bad, much like someone can have a bad relationship and then assume that all guys are bad or all girls are bad or whatever. When the truth is, you've only seen like a certain subset of films. And the truth is, there are films out there that have the same profundity and sort of depth of meaning as great literature, even TV shows, like, I know it's something that like Hamza would have never watched, but like Breaking Bad, the amount of lessons that I took from watching that series, it's amazing. And like, in a sense, I could have learned those lessons from other ways, from going out and experiencing life and stuff like that. But in any case, watching that series was better than spending that time on my phone. And yeah, just to reiterate the sort of last point, I think that is the real enemy, is just scrolling on your phone. And I think if you just want to reduce that, basically, if you want to live a happy, productive life, and if doing that means you watch a few TV shows, I don't know, I don't think it's a problem myself, but I'm not saying don't heed the warnings that people give about TV shows. I do think there's a lot to it, but I think there's a level to how bad things are for you, and it's better to allow yourself a little bit of slack so that you can really focus on the essentials of not watching short form content, and then being perfect. So anyway, guys, that's what I think. Feel free to disagree, let me know in the comments, but otherwise, as always, bottom link in the description, doing some online coaching at the moment. Love to get you involved. Just click the link. You can get session books, but apart from that, guys, it's been a pleasure.